You are Locked On Dodgers Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, that sucked. Oh, way to blow a victory. Way to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. Unbelievable. This attitude that Dave Roberts has sometimes about doing solids to people drives me insane. And I know I'm not alone because the comments started before the show did. Welcome to the Locked On Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. You can also listen on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. That's where you find Jeff and Vince doing the daily podcast, Monday through Friday, though. Not back at it again till tomorrow night, probably after the finale of this series. I'm Pete Fox, host of the Postcast here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you for making us part of your regular routine. We appreciate the everydayers making us your source for your team every day. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers Postcast is brought to you by SupplyHouse. SupplyHouse.com is the reliable way to get parts fast. Shop for your next plumbing, h-vac, or electrical job and get fast shipping from coast to coast at SupplyHouse.com. I have been covering sports in LA since 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. Tonight, the Dodgers fell behind early, 4-0, regained the lead on a Shohei Ohtani home run, and then, for some reason, decided to mess with things that were working. That is just foolhardiness. Why? You could see it on Kopech's face. Like, what am I doing here in the eighth? I'm the closer. This is not where the closer pitches. So stupid. Give that guy more confidence, not less. Why do you need to do Evan Phillips any sort of, hey, bud, we're going to give you another opportunity? No. I mean, Evan Phillips has been really good lately. It's the first run he's given up in the whole month of August, okay? But there was absolutely no need for it. And I know, yeah, maybe he gives up that run in the eighth, but it's like the odds are more in your favor when you have the closer who is lights out. Kopech is the man. Put him in there to close. Nando was the first to say it. Fire Dave Roberts for putting Phillips in the ninth. I just are you kidding me? Come on. It's just not logical. And maybe it wasn't Dave Roberts. Maybe it's the little green book or blue book or whatever from Freeman on down. Just that's a game you should have won. They did everything they needed to win. Even getting past Kershaw's ugly first inning, digging out of that hole. Yeah, there's a lot of positives in this game. Kershaw, I know some of you, Nando to be specific, Kerr sucks. I think it would be Kerr shucks. To be a little less insulting, Nando. But yeah, I've thought this too. Nightmares of last year's Kershaw first inning performance. ER means nothing when you get rocked. I thought the same thing, but they pointed it out on the broadcast, and I agree with the sentiment that Kershaw's a good enough pitcher to battle back and get out of it. He had nothing happening in the first inning. 4 runs on 4 hits. But that's what scares me about Kershaw, because if this is a playoff game, I don't think the same outcome. They probably lose it differently. And I don't think the Dodgers have it in them necessarily. Obviously, their offense is very high powered and fueled and running on full strength right now. But I don't think the Dodgers should have to deal with that sort of thing in the postseason. You don't want to give a 4 spot up in the first inning in the postseason and have to battle back from that. It was nice to see Kershaw do it. Kudos. That was well done. That shows you he's a veteran. That shows you he's still a good pitcher. Didn't have anything in the first, found it by the second. Slider was working, curveball was working. He got it back on track. Still gave up 5 runs over 9 innings, but should have won 9 hits rather. 5 runs on 9 hits over 5 innings, 5 Ks, should have won the game. Put your setup guy in there. Why don't you run Brazier out there in the 8th? Brazier threw 6 pitches last night, 5 pitches tonight. Why are you wasting Brazier in the 6th? That guy's like, use your eyes. That guy is on fire. Fresh off the IL, he's ready to pitch. Let's go. Get him out there. Oh, it's not brain surgery. Stop overthinking this stuff. Yeah, they probably still lose, but put yourself in the situations that give you a better opportunity to win. And I know the analytics guys, Locked On Dodgers host Jeff is probably yelling at me, but it's Saturday, so he's not listening. got other things, got better things to do. He probably would argue with me and say, well, the statistics say that this was the best option. Well, use your eyes. Again, we've talked about the statistics are minuscule. It could be 55-45 or 60-40, and they go, well, 60-40 is better than 55-45. I don't care about those 5% or even 10% probability ratio. We know that Michael Kopech is on fire right now. We know that Ryan Brazier is on fire right now. Evan Phillips, yeah, he's warm. He's working his way back from being bad for a good period of time. Victor Gonzalez. Roberts has always mismanaged the bullpen. I totally agree. I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's the powers that be, Andrew Friedman on down, the nerds in the basement with their computers spitting out tape that says, this is who you pitch right now. It's just ticker tape. That's an old term right there. I know none of you youngsters get it, but it's not logical. It is a blown victory. This is snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Shohei Ohtani, another big home run. 41-40 now. I just, to me, wasted evening for him at the plate. Offensively, Teoscar Hernandez, a home run. The two negatives in this game, Gavin Lux, 0 for 4 again. That means he's 0 for his last 7. So he's cooling off. And Freddie Freeman is ice cold over the last 2 at least. 0 for 9 yesterday and today in this series. So he's got to find it. Mookie had a hit. Couple of RBI. Nice to see. He keeps it rolling. Will Smith a hit. Max Muncy a hit. Edman went 0 for 4. And Miggy Rojas, a home run, is 4th. He was 2 for 4 with 3 runs scored and 2 RBI. Big night for him. So yeah, this one's a tough gut punch. Should have won this game. I did the Locked On Chargers postcast today. They got a win, their first and only preseason victory. Felt a little like real football, but right before the game, usually when there's a Dodger game and a Charger game on the same day, I just pick one, do one or the other. Usually it's football has priority for whatever reason. I guess NFL is king when it comes to United States sports. But I was like, I'm going to do them both. And then I read a comment from somebody on the YouTube page from last night's game. I'm going to read you the comment. I'm going to answer back. Like to hear your thoughts. I'm not exactly sure, but it sounds like it could be Shohei Ohtani's mom. So we'll do that next. I'm Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. And also listen wherever you find your podcast on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers podcast postcast brought to you by Liquid IV. When you're taking in America's pastime, don't forget you need to hydrate with Liquid IV. They got a hot new flavor called Popsicle Firecracker. It's a surefire summertime hit because baseball and summer go together like Liquid IV and indulgent hydration. Blast off with that iconic summer flavor of Popsicle Firecracker. It's a festive blend of citrus-fueled lemon lime, tart cherry, and raspberry flavors. Sometimes these IV enhancers don't taste all that good. That is not the case with Liquid IV, especially this popsicle firecracker. Very, very tasty. Find all your favorite flavors. If that doesn't sound good, there are other options like pina colada, lemon lime, or even acai berry. No more thirsty summers when you indulge in hydration with Liquid IV. Tear, pour, live more. One stick plus 16 ounces of water hydrates way better than water alone. Go to liquidiv.com. Use the code MLB at checkout. You get 20% off your first order. When you shop Better Hydration today, use that promo code MLB at liquidiv.com. Tonight's show also brought to you by SupplyHouse.com. Get supplies from the site that's made for skilled trade. SupplyHouse.com. SupplyHouse.com is the reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. An easy-to-use website packed with helpful resources and latest product info to help you get the job done right every time. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands and get your order delivered right to your door with fast shipping from coast to coast. And if you need help with your order, they've got expert support, industry-leading service techs available for you that you can talk to, a real person every time. Pros and skilled trades can get a competitive edge by joining SupplyHouse.com's free Trade Masters program. Every Trade Master gets access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Join thousands of trade pros already benefiting from free memberships at SupplyHouse.com/TM and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from everywhere and anywhere with that free delivery if you were part of the Trade Masters program. Just a few clicks. Head over to SupplyHouse.com. All right, Dodgers fall tonight. Letting one slip. This is wetting the bed and leaving the barn door open all at the same time. Okay, I don't know if I went away there for a little bit. If I did, I apologize. I got to find this. How do I get to that thing? I go over here. That's not it. Oh, man, I'm sorry. I am blowing this because I don't. There it is. Okay, cool. So I got to read you this comment from last night where I made a comment that at times, obviously last night, Shohei Ohtani was fantastic. That was remarkable. It was exciting. It was thrilling. History making. It was epic. I don't know how else. There's so many superlatives you can use to describe what he did last night. It was, it was a Hollywood script. As you're watching that game, you're thinking, well, of course that's the way it's going to happen. Shohei Ohtani is going to be a 40-40 man right now with the bases loaded to win the game. Yes, of course. What else would happen? Well, I made a comment that, there are times when, I get frustrated with Shohei Ohtani because my expectations are higher for him. And, that's my opinion. That's the way I feel about Shohei Ohtani. That doesn't mean I don't think he's any good. I do think he's good. I think he's very good. And I would love to be able to read the person's comment. Here we go. I made a comment that I have been frustrated with Shohei Ohtani because guess what? I evaluate Shohei Ohtani game to game, at bat to at bat. I don't just make a global statement, a global opinion about Shohei Ohtani. So I said at times I'm frustrated. This person responds, frustrated with Ohtani? No baseball player is going to hit every ball. Could hit 340. That's what I said. I believe Shohei Ohtani could hit 340. He says, or she says, even in his best offensive year in 2023, he hit 304. What the F? Where the F did you pull 340 from? Why are you imposing on him random stats you just made up? He got $700 million, not because he's both the best hitter and pitcher in baseball. That's just ridiculous. But that he plays both at an elite level. He met the expectations as a hitter this year. In fact, he is even better than advertised and is on his way to becoming MVP. How dare you be frustrated? Yes, no, you're right. I cannot be frustrated. I said, thank you for setting me straight and telling me how I should feel. If you want to talk actual stats, he's not the best hitter in baseball. Batting, not even in the top 5. Home runs, he's second. and RBIs not even in the top 5, and also not the best pitcher in baseball, but he is very good, and I'm glad he's a Dodger. Thanks for watching. So this to me is just like, I made a random comment that I believe Shohei Ohtani could hit 340, which I believe he could, right? If he decided to be an on-base hitter, hitting for average and not home runs. But obviously, home runs are more important. Home runs are more thrilling, more interesting, more entertaining, and therefore we enjoy them more, and therefore they emphasize that sort of thing with Shohei Ohtani. That's what they want from him, and I completely get it, right? But that doesn't mean I don't have an opinion, and I'm not going to be frustrated on occasion when I feel that Shohei Ohtani could be more impactful. And yes, I have an unfair expectation for him based on $700 million. And the other thing is, I look at Shohei Ohtani and I say, just because everybody is falling head over heels for Shohei Ohtani's ability, and they think that, he is the second coming of Babe Ruth, which he is, but they think that Shohei Ohtani basically can do no wrong, right? This is the globalized opinion about Shohei Ohtani, right? Oh, it doesn't matter what he does, he's all good. I look at him and I go, yes, he's very good, but I evaluate each at bat kind of independently and each situation independently. So I'm not going to just sit here and have a globalized, broad swath about Shohei Ohtani because he makes a lot of money and he's super popular. No, I'm not going to do that. Sorry. Mark thinks I lose this one. Okay, fine. Fair enough. I don't agree with you. I'm going to evaluate Shohei Ohtani. And at times he's going to frustrate me because he went through a streak about a week and a half ago where he batted 149 for 15 games or something, right? That's not very good. I don't care how much money you make or how good you think Shohei Ohtani is. Through that period of time, he was not good. And I get that not everyone is going to be great all the time, right? I understand that. I know baseball. I know that if you bat around 300, you are a Hall of Famer. But the fact is that I'm not just going to sit here and blow sunshine up Shohei Ohtani's butt night after night because he's popular and everyone loves him and everyone thinks he's the greatest player in the history of baseball. He's very, very good. I'm not going to deny that. But the fact is that there are times when he's not good, and I'm going to say that. So last night was not one of those nights. Tonight, not one of those nights. He is red hot right now, and I will say it. He's locked in. He's getting that front foot down. He's getting started, hitting home runs. That ball that he hit to right field tonight was such a brilliant piece of hitting and so much strength. The one thing that I said over the last week or so that Shohei struggles with are pitches down and away. Like he's laying off the pitches down and in. He's laying off the high fastballs. He's got the zone tightened up. The down and away ball is the one that he still struggles with a little bit. Not anymore. Not if you look at what he did today. That ball that he hit to right field, mind you, was down and away. That is pure strength and fantastic hitting. So I'll call Shohei Ohtani great when he's great, and when he's not, I'm going to call him not. And if you don't like it, I apologize. I'm sorry that I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to call it like I see it. And if I get frustrated, that's my problem, not yours. Let's get to the Diamond Dogs list. For number 5 tonight, Mookie Betts, an RBI double to left in the 4th inning, scoring Otani, who got on with a catcher's interference. So, he's finding ways to get on all the time. Another reason that he is red hot right now, getting on base a lot. His on base percentage at 379, slugging at 619. So he keeps that OPS nice and high. For number 4, home run number 27 for Teo Hernandez, a first pitch curveball that he was all over. But again, it kind of seemed like a fly ball. It was reminiscent of the home run derby, where it didn't seem like it was an absolute no doubt blast, but it just kept carrying and got out pretty easily, 403 feet. It made it a 1-run ball game. Dodgers down by 1 at that time, scoring Mookie Betts to make it 4-3. Then for number 3, a bloop double from Max Muncy in the 5th to lead off the inning, kind of a Texas leaguer that he turned into a double. It was funny. Joe and Joe and Kershaw were like, oh, running hard the whole way. And then they showed the replay and he was kind of loafing to first, and then he got around first and turned it on. So got to second with a nice double there. So that was nice hustle from Max Muncy in the 5th. And then for number 2, Miggy Rojas, an RBI single to left, scoring Max Muncy. For number 1A, Shohei Ohtani's home run, which I just described to you, down and away. Yeah, he can't handle that pitch. It's his 338-foot home run for his 41st round tripper of the year. No stolen bases tonight. So he's 41-40 on the season. And then Miggy Rojas had a nice home run in the 7th for 1B. It was his 4th of the year, 387 feet, pulled it down the left field line. And then the Dodgers were up 2 at that point. But here comes Dave Roberts putting in Michael Kopech in the 8th, and then Phillips as the closer in the 9th. And it just blew the whole thing out of the water. The bullpen had given up a grand total of 2 runs over the first 4 games of this series. Not tonight. They lost this one. 4 runs given up by the bullpen tonight. Really nice play there. Also from Max Muncy at third base to end the top of the 10th inning. Made a nice backhanded play, and I've really been impressed all season long with his play at third base. Not a natural third baseman, not his, best position, but he is really, really good. On the downside of things, as I mentioned earlier, Lux is 0 for his last 7, and Freddie Freeman 0 for 9. Dodgers blow this one 9-8 and snaps a 5-game winning streak. I'm Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. Thanks for listening and watching. You can download the podcast wherever you find your podcasts on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. We will take the final break and come back and get into a little bit more about Kershaw's outing. You guys are just like all over Kershaw. I don't think they lost this game because of Kershaw. I'm sorry. Yeah, those 4 runs, if you gave up 3 or 2, it probably would have come out differently, but he got it back on track, and we'll get into that a little bit right after the break here on the Locked On Dodgers Postcast. All right, tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers Postcast brought to you by our friends at TonaI. TonaI is a fancy piece of workout equipment for those of you who thrive on getting stuff done, including workouts. Every minute counts. That's why you need TonaI, the smart strength training system that takes the guesswork out of working out so you can make sure you're making the most out of every rep. When your life gets busy, fitting in a workout can be stressful. With TonaI, you get the efficient workouts personalized just for you, and they're available with the amount of time that you have. TonaI learns from your movement and provides suggested weight recommendations for every move with detailed progress reports. This even creates personalized program and workout suggestions and recommendations based on your individual goals, and probably keeps you healthy, keeps you from getting hurt, keeps you from overlifting and pulling a muscle. Unlike traditional gym equipment, TonaI uses adaptive digital weight to advance your training techniques. Right now, TonaI is offering our listeners $200 off your TonaI purchase with promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's TonaI.com, TONAL, and use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $200 off your purchase. That's TonaI.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $200 off. Dodgers got home runs from Shohei Ohtani, number 41. They got a home run from Teoscar Hernandez and Miggy Rojas, which we thought, the home run from Rojas, we thought was a little insurance. Turned out to not be insurance. Clayton Kershaw gave up 4 in the first. And by the way, kudos to Joe Davis. Because I was like, what is Joe Davis doing? Calling this guy, calling him Lau sometimes and calling him Low other times. And then I'm like, wait a second. Do the Rays have 2 guys with their names spelled the same way, and one of them is Lau and one of them is Low? Sure enough. And I'm like, whichever one pronounces it Lau, come on. It's Low. L-O-W-E is Low. If you want your name to be Lau, it's L-A-U, right? It's not L-O-W-E. It's Low and Low. It's always Low. Can't stand when people have a name like Smith, but oh no, we pronounce it Smite. No, it's Smith. It's always Smith. Like if I pronounce my name Fuchs or something, it's Fox, F-O-X. That's the only way you pronounce F-O-X. L-O-W-E is Low, not Lau. Oh, but Joe Davis all over it. Like, congratulations. It's like way to go. Kershaw, not as bad as you guys all are thinking. Yeah, it was a rough first inning, but give the guy credit for getting back on track. Strikeout. The slider started working. He struck out low on a slider in the second. Then he struck out Carlson on a slider. He had the slider going, and I got a strikeout on a curveball. Jackson struck out with the slider, and then missing one here. But yeah, the slider was really working. And he struck out low on a slider. I think he got 4 of the 5 on the slider and the 5th one on the curveball. So give the guy a break. Like, I guess the question now becomes the thing that we really wonder about. Every time Kershaw, they're going to keep running him out there all season long. He's pitching till the end of the regular season as long as he's healthy. The question then becomes, where does Kershaw fit in the postseason rotation? I don't know. I just hope that they don't do this solid thing like they did tonight with Evan Phillips, where they're like, you know what? We got to send Kershaw out as our game 1 starter. No, please, no. Anything but that. Anything. Game 2 starter. Nope. Not anything but that too. Game 3 starter. Nope. I think Kershaw is a long relief guy in the postseason. I just hope that Kershaw has enough sense himself to say, hey guys, I don't think I'm the best option. Of course, he probably won't do that because he's a competitor and he wants to be out there and believes that he should be out there. And that's the mentality you want from him. So this is going to be tough. I feel like there are 3 better options right now. Tyler Glasnow is a better option. If Yamamoto is healthy, he's a better option. Jack Flaherty is a better option. I believe Gavin Stone is a better option, right? Those options are all better for starting postseason games. We're not there yet, but it's not far away. Dodgers have it rolling, fortunately. This is a game they should have won. They did enough offensively. The bullpen, though, wet the bed. Left the barn door open, did not secure the win. And, they're not perfect. They're going to make a mistake here and there. They've been very good this month. They've been good the last 4 games. They're not going to get it right every time, but the selection of which player went in at that time did them no favors. I could see it on Kopech's face. He was like, what am I doing here? He seemed frustrated. He always has kind of a grumpy look on his face anyway, which is one of the things I like about him. A closer has to be gritty like that, has to have that face all the time. But tonight it just looked different. He was like, maybe I was projecting that on him. I don't know. It felt like he looked uncomfortable, kind of a little disgruntled. Why am I in the 8th inning and not closing this game out where I should be? I thought we've had this conversation. I thought I was highest on the trust tree, right? We've heard that term used a lot regarding Michael Kopech, high up on the trust tree, right? Brazier, obviously not quite that high yet, but moving up. Been pitching very well. 11 pitches over the last 2 games. Treinen, here or there. Not great. Okay, gave up a hit and a walk. Got out of it. Kopech gave up a run and 2 hits. And I think that had to do with the fact that he wasn't in there in the 9th. So it's to me a completely different situation if Michael Kopech closes and Evan Phillips is not the closer. Blown save. I don't know, 16 pitches in all for Kopech. Yeah, I mean, you could argue and say I'm an idiot. I'm sure you are. A lot of you do that on a regular basis. That, well, what makes it better if Kopech is in the 9th inning? He gave up a run on 2 hits. Yeah, because he wasn't where he belonged. He's uncomfortable. You put him in a comfortable situation, he performs the way that he has been performing. I don't know. Makes sense to me. Maybe I'm crazy. So all in all, Dodgers lose this one 9-8 and lose a game to the Diamondbacks, who continue to just roll through this league. 3 games now, the Dodgers are up on the Diamondbacks, Padres got smoked by the Mets tonight. I believe it was 7-1. So they're still 4.5 back, but the Diamondbacks are, right there, hot on the Dodgers' heels. Kopech had only allowed 2 base runners and had a 0.0 ERA. It's not like he was going to end the season like that. That's BC's thought. So you're saying, in essence, in other words, as my mom likes to say all the time, who's 97, and it drives me crazy when she does that. In other words, no, in these words. So what you're trying to say, BC, is it was bound to happen sooner or later. The dam was going to break. Michael Kopech was not going to roll through the rest of this regular season with a 0.0 ERA. Fair enough. But I think not putting him in as the closer did him a disservice. I think Evan Phillips would have been better in the 8th role. I think you need to set up these roles now. They need to be determined roles. I also think it would have been a better call to bring Vesia in the 9th if you're not going to put Kopech in there. Or Bonda. I know that there was at least one lefty, one righty. So, the difference is negligible at best. Tomorrow, the finale of this series. Dodgers look to take the series and start another winning streak as they blew a 5-game winning streak today. As I said, snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Tomorrow's finale starts at 1:00 at Chavez Ravine. And right around the corner, the Baltimore Orioles come in starting next week. That's no cakewalk either. So nice to come off of the win tomorrow to get into that series on the right foot. Dodgers now 77-53, 42-23 at home. Tampa Bay Rays 65-64, 31-30 on the road. Tomorrow's matchup, Gavin Stone for the home team versus Shane Baz for the Rays. Again, underway at 1:10. I'm Pete Fox. Thanks for joining me here on the Locked On Dodgers podcast. Why am I saying podcast all of a sudden? Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. And you can also download us and listen wherever you find your podcasts on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. That's where you find Jeff and Vince doing the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast, which they will get back into tomorrow. And we thank all you everydayers for making us your source for your team every day. Have a good night. We'll talk tomorrow right after the finale of this series against the Rays. Thanks a lot. Take care.